Why? Oh, we saw this. Why was this person calling someone else white? For one. Right, far be it from me, from someone who might have a fraction of... Now, what is Cutie even in trouble for now? Why did it look like there's a meltdown happening?
Chat.
You sound.
Chat. Somebody make the
Chat.
meme with the dominoes, okay?
Chat.
Hassan zaps doggo, right? The fall of everybody who is a slave to their audience. Everybody's falling. Bang, 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 bang. Everybody's falling for this. This is crazy. One single zap, a few volts in some.
You mean he doesn't even know the voltage of the collar? Damn. The
in some
debunker.
necklace. GG. The fall of LA. That is outrageous. Just because that man wouldn't fucking go, yo, Kaya, actually, let me see what you're wearing. I'll show the chat. That's it. All it takes. Was it that hard? And chat guys, some of my things aged badly. What did I say the other day? What did I say the other day? I said it. Hassan's gonna make this thing where he has unwinnable battles for other people, and boom, everybody's toppling over. What the fuck is happening?
Really? And she knows.
Chat.
You sound.
Chat.
Valkyrae told Cutie that part of the reason she's receiving backlash is being so white. Backlash for what? Why? Oh, we saw this. Why was this person calling someone else white? For one. Right, far be it from me, from someone who might have a fraction of, from someone who has Middle Eastern or foreign blood, calling other people white because it's funny. But it has to be funny. It can't actually be like... But why? What happened? What's the story? Why is she apologizing? What's going on? Oh, she said she wouldn't... Oh, the bigoted family members. Oh, that's why Mike was saying I'd be the problem. Ah, I remember. Yeah, okay. Dude, if I fought bigoted family members, I'd be there all fucking day. Jesus. All day. Who would I have to defend against members of my family? Fucking the Syrians, the Jews. I don't know, some different. I don't even fucking people from Fife. That's a different part of Scotland. Other Lebanese people. Their parents, they're old. They got their things going on.
I'm really sorry. Like.
Yeah, parents and uncles. God. Grandparents? Why Syrians? Because Syria occupied Lebanon for like 30 years. Like, there are people like family friends or like people who are, who grew up with my family, like in the same areas and everything, who fought against Syrians when they tried to occupy Beirut. So, yeah, fucking... A lot of people forget that, though. Because it's a Middle Eastern conflict that doesn't involve Israel.
Again, if you...
Even though it did involve Israel, yeah.
If you don't want the... I've heard what a lot of people are saying, and I am sorry for the hurt that I've caused people.
BE will clip that. Well, I don't think he holds water for Syria. Like what? Hafiz al-Assad? Is okay. What? The guys who were trying to occupy another country? I thought we were against that in these spaces. Okay.
I'm really sorry. Like, again, if you don't want this apology, then it's not for you. And clearly you're not hurt, but I'm apologizing to people that I've hurt, and that's important to me. So if you're a part of the queer community and I've hurt you,
oh, no.
I am sorry. If you are a person of color who I have hurt, I am sorry. I am. I really am. I think the way I was wording things was very like,
Do you know who else doesn't blacklist family members for being homophobic or transphobic? Gay and trans people quite often do not blacklist their own family members for being bigoted. Like, quite often is the case that trans and queer people end up becoming the reasons that their parents and their family members stop becoming homophobic. But yeah. It's such a broad statement, though, right? Because obviously, if you're talking about someone who's so bigoted that they're like like an online activist against these people, or they harass them, or that they are really aggressive to them in a way that actually hurts them like directly, then that's a bit different. But if it's someone who's like at the fucking dinner table saying some dumb shit, like that's bigotry can go from a dumb joke at the dinner table all the way from to actually actively trying to destroy said marginalized community's existence. So
like irresponsible and wrong, and I'm sorry. This is not about me. It's annoying that
no.
I'm chill. I'm fine. I don't articulate myself well, which means I can't really be upset if what I'm trying to convey is misunderstood. Because like, don't get me wrong, at first I was like, how could that be taken this way? And then I listened and I learned and I said, oh my God. Because it wasn't my intention, but I did articulate things very irresponsibly, and that sucks. I did a really poor job at articulating myself. Even some of the clips I've seen, I feel so irresponsible for my own wording. I really do. And I'm sorry for that. I watched it back. I understand why it was hurtful. I've read the comments, believe it or not.
Where did this come from? This looks like a Ynet thing, maybe? Explosions in Gaza, reports of the beginning of Israeli attacks due to Hamas's violation of the agreement. Terrorists, it's definitely Israeli media, launched an anti-tank missile and carried out sniper fire at an IDF force that responded with fire. After the violation, Prime Minister Netanyahu instructed the military echelon to immediately carry out powerful attacks in the Gaza Strip. Hamas, in response, we postponed the handover of the hijacked spacecraft that was planned for today due to the Israeli violations. Is this like a weird Hebrew to English or otherwise that does that? It must be a Google Translate fuck up because that can happen. That can happen. I've seen on Al Qassam pages, sometimes there'll be a guy called like Muhammad Tamam or Taman or something like that. And it'll just come up as Muhammad all good because Tamam can mean all good. That kind of shit, right? Fucking hell. MTG vindicated. The word for space and KIA is the same. Interesting. And why hijacked? Hebrew words for spacecraft and dead are similar. Huh. Weird as hell. Very weird. Okay. We're going to see that at the next congressional hearing. MTG holding up that tweet. Oh no. Not another Hassan clip from 4 minutes ago.
Oh, this was my favorite. I saw this tweet. I couldn't believe it. They were gamers, anime and manga fans, and pop culture commentators who never touch politics. But as the world drifted from truth and woke politics invaded our hobbies, many content creators turned political to defend their passions. Leftists, thriving on lies and disinformation, hate it when apolitical people join the
Why
fray,
is Ethan in
facing
there,
death
man?
threats, false allegations, and insane propaganda from the mentally unwell, and are labeled grifters. As George Orwell puts it, George Orwell, the further a society drifts from the truth, the more it will hate those who speak it. More people are getting red pilled daily, unable to tolerate the nonsense promoted by mainstream news. So when I first saw this, I thought it was a joke. Like, I thought this person was like making a joke collage to make fun of these fucking losers, right? Nope.
Was Ethan a gamer at any point before 2016?
Nope. Turns out this is something that this person genuinely believes. And it turns out that, like, this is how the fandom of these content creators also see themselves as. Every single person on this list, if you were to try to explain their positions to a random person in the real world, or what they do, or the space that they occupy online, most people in the real world would look at you like, what do you mean a cartoon pedophile Nazi that defends Israel unconditionally?
Well, we should set up an Israel timer. Anyway.
Vanilla.
That about the homophobic.
This is apparently why Cutie is in hot water. Okay.
What are they saying, Vanilla?
That about the homophobic jokes. They're like, but then you just if you still hang out with someone like that, then you just support it.
No. So this is what I'm gonna describe, okay? And you guys can believe what you can believe.
I know, like, I want,
Okay.
like, explain it. I want you to, like, explain it better.
I'm gonna explain it. You guys can believe what you want to believe. I understand, but you're not allowed to coach me and say, like, that's not right. That's not what you like. Just because I don't act the same way you act, you're not allowed to like coach me through that. Because at the end of the day,
She's telling minorities how to interpret her statements and her behavior. Oh my God.
I am somebody that's like, bitch, I'm an ally. Like
And I know
I am
where
not
I'm at.
homophobic.
That's where it's
Everybody
like, and I know
knows
where
I'm
I'm
not
at.
homophobic. It doesn't matter who I talk to. Like, the thing is like, I was raised in a very religious family. Unfortunately, there are people in my family
Bitch, I'm an ally. It's just.
that are racist. There are people in my family that are bigoted. There are people in my family that are homophobic. There's people in my family that are transphobic. Like, but I still love my family, right? And I still know that there are that members of my family have good qualities. They have good qualities. And what's most important to get people to love other people is to love them. Fighting hate with hate will never get anything anywhere. If I were to say to someone who's homophobic, go fuck yourself, you homophobic prick, yes, I told them what they deserve. However, they aren't ever gonna feel accepting. They're never gonna learn how to be accepting. Like, do you understand that if you just write people off because they believe different things than you, they're never going to be exposed to why it's good to be around people.
That's all good, Sweaty, but little do you realize when you say you cannot fight hate with hate, I think you are forgetting a certain I'm not saying you should do this to your family members. Of course not. But, you know, that's kind of what's going on in the heads of people of Sweaty. That's what Sweaty's thinking, listening to this this blonde privilege vessel
That don't think like you, right?
No,
like
I see that.
So my stepbrother is trans, and my dad refuses to use the correct pronouns.
And does, right.
And he doesn't understand that he doesn't understand why it's so important, right? And it drives me crazy. And it drives my stepbrother crazy, of course. But I've had to say to my dad, Dad, you know it's not going to hurt you. It's not going to hurt you to say the correct pronouns, but it does hurt.
Are we watching it here because the original video got taken down or DMCA'd or
him when you say the wrong ones?
Right.
I don't know who this person is.
Right.
And you know what the difference is I'm able to have this conversation with my dad because I'm open-minded and we love each other.
Are they even
my
part of the
stepbrother
call?
just says fuck off and won't talk to my dad. So there's no progress being made, right? And so
She's DMCAing anyone who posts clips of this. Well, I mean, do you want commentary? Fair use, fair use, fair use. I mean, the fact is that this is the most normal position like any motherfucker can have towards their like, obviously there is something a bit goofy about her being like, listen, I'm an ally, bitch. That's, I don't know. The language of like ally is just always going to get you. And when you're catering to people who are like, I need you to be an ally, like very rarely in my experience does anything good come from a person who's fucking talking to you with that language, with that expectation. Like they're always going to want something more from you is generally the impression that I get. But yeah, the stance she's taking about talking with your family, yeah, not disowning your family. And again, there's no specific example either. So we were literally, even though she used an example of a family member who uses pronouns for a trans relative, so it can't be that bad, right? Like obviously if one of your relatives is out in the fucking streets trying to lynch people or is maybe even part of some like pressure group to destroy trans rights and they're turning up at town halls and they're campaigning against them and literally or harassing or whatever else, right? Like if your relative is libs of TikTok, you might have a different story. Or if your relative is Drew Pavlu, if your relative is Drew Pavlu, maybe it would be obligatory for your family members to respond in a certain way.
Make sure that I can do.
Keep that fucking profile low, okay? Before you go get a fucking job.
I don't care about a job. I'm just
Oh,
trying.
fucking bullshit! I'm not paying for you this your life, dickhead.
I'm fighting for what's right. That's why.
Just keep your fucking profile down before you won't get hired by anybody.
I don't care about the squiggle line. I'm going
Who's
to.
gonna pay for you forever?
I'm going to be fine. I'm protesting tomorrow.
But in any case, yeah, if your family members are exhibiting like bigoted opinions, usually is just that, it's opinions, then yeah, if by proximity you're going to, it's also, you're not obligated to change your relative's mind. Like that's up to you if you want to take on that fucking project. But if you want to, the only chance you're going to get is actually keeping them exposed to alternative opinions. Because I think what happens a lot with Republicans or right-wingers in general is, you know how the Republican Party always pushes this line in America that they are under attack constantly from the Democrats and the wokes and the gays and the LGBT. They constantly feel like they're under attack by these people. And and because a lot of Republican voters live in areas where they don't really see queer people or minorities, or even they don't even see that many Democrats, it's very easy to dehumanize them and strawman them. So your function as a family member of even just knowing them and talking to them can actually, even that can be a foot in the door to them understanding that the narrative they're getting from mainstream media or whatever or about their opponents is actually not accurate, you know? So it's so obvious. It's so obvious. Yeah, meet people where they are. It's obvious in the sense that exposure tends to be something that helps people get over biases and prejudices. There's a reason, by the way, people talk about the UK and they say, oh, we're responding to really grave concerns about the state of immigration and all that. Well, look at what happened in the last election. Where did Reform get their seats? The anti-immigration party, the top anti-immigration party. They got their seats, 5 or 6 of them, in areas that are more white than Britain on average. They are above, like whites are overrepresented in these communities, which again stands up to the theory, right? When it comes to immigrants, who hates immigrants the most? Which countries in Europe? It's the ones that don't have many immigrants. It's the ones that have low immigration. What's the problem with Japan right now, right? Like Japan keeping immigrants out and potentially wrecking their economy in the process and wrecking their welfare system and wrecking their future because they don't want to take immigrants in. Well, it's self-fulfilling though, right? Because they are also one of the most anti-immigrant developed countries in the OECD. Yeah, Hungary, Poland, generally the Eastern European countries. These are the countries with lower immigration, and they're also more anti-immigration. So, and there have been studies done with this as well. There have been studies done with this with people going on train journeys and following like study subjects and seeing how people behave before and after they've spoken to a migrant on the train or something. Like, yeah, even like with that, even with single conversations, it can get people to temper their opinions on foreigners. Obviously, it needs to be kept up. Like exposure needs to be constant or frequent. But then that's always the same thing. That backs up the position about keeping your relatives closer, even if they're bigoted. But also, it's also because they're your family. Like they might be one of your only support networks. They might be. There's so many reasons. It's so dumb. Anyway, well. So she's in hot water over that, and this was her apology that we just saw. I guess we'll watch it again for segment's sake.
I'm really sorry. Like, again, if you don't want the, I've heard what a lot of people are saying, and I am sorry for the hot.
It's a bit unfortunate that almost every time I see QTCinderella on the feed is when she's crying about something.
Like the hurt that I've caused people.
So when she says sorry, well, we saw this already. When she says sorry, why is she actually going to start disowning family members now, or is she just saying it's like the way she said it? What's the take there? No Luke Beasley versus MAGA Jubilee. Maybe. Or tomorrow. What's this? It's hard to put that responsibility on individual trans kids, though. Yeah, but I'm not putting responsibility on anyone. I'm just saying that there's nothing wrong with keeping your family members close. Yeah, obviously, if you're actually a minority and you've got bigoted family members, and even being around them with the way that they behave towards you is bad for your mental health or whatever, then yeah, fucking disown them. I don't give a fuck. Fuck families, okay? I don't care about families. You don't choose your family. Some people have good families. Some people have average families. Some people have shit families, okay? It's up to you what you decide to do with them in terms of your relations. You don't owe your family fucking anything, really, unless there's some kind of like pre-designated understanding. Even then, obviously, you're not bound to... And I say this as someone who like is quite... Like I like my family, okay? And also, especially the Lebanese side of my family, they're very family first. They're very Mediterranean, Christian, whatever, like... But... Man. But the obligation goes in neither direction. You shouldn't be obligated to disown your family over political opinions, even if they're bigoted, right? And you also shouldn't be obligated to change those person's opinions, because sometimes family members are insufferable. Like trying to... Have you ever tried, especially like an uncle or a dad? You ever tried being like a younger relative and trying to convince your uncle or your dad or something? It's fucking impossible. They will never. And it's not even... They could be wrong on every position, or like they can be out rationalized or everything, but in their head they might just be like, there's no way I'm getting my mind changed. There's no way I'm losing this debate to a guy whose ass I was wiping for 5 years. Like fuck, or less. I don't know how long parents fucking wipe their kids' asses for. No way.
Do not say that. She is not a fake ally. Do not say that. Do not say that. Her co-host is gay. Hello? She has gay friends. Okay? I think that she's being... The way she spoke about it was poor.
I wonder if her progressive ideology or the rhetoric that she uses, does it all just come from Hassan? Like I don't... Oh God. Yeah, she was. I thought she was a progressive person, calling Cutie white and everything, saying she's being too white. But
she is not a fake ally. Do not say that.
That's fucking brilliant.
Do not say that. Her co-host is gay.
That's like fucking 1995 defense against bigotry accusations. Holy shit. Damn. Bro, imagine trying to convince a Middle Eastern dad that people can be born gay. I mean, oof. Man. What's this?
Simply
This is someone who threw Cutie under the bus. Okay.
didn't agree with it. I was uncomfortable. Simply didn't agree with it. I was uncomfortable. Obviously, as you could see in the clips. You know who I am, you know what I stand for. If you're someone who's been watching me, then you already fucking know. If you're a first-time fucking chatter and you're just joining off of clips that you've seen on TikTok and you don't know shit about me or
That's
fucking
me.
shit about shit, then of course I'm gonna assume that you're just gonna make the assumptions that you're going to make. But people who know me and know my character and know what the fuck I stand for, know how I'm gonna go about this. So, I am simply stepping back from everything, everyone.
Oh no.
Gonna touch a little grass.
Did she? But yeah, she obviously didn't say anything to Cutie, so she didn't do the damn. Mike from PA needs to step in and tell us what to do. The danger. You need to be the danger. Mike from PA would know. The one who knocks his relatives unconscious for saying the N-word. That's definitely what happens. Oh no, drama alert. What are they saying? There's nothing wrong with having conversations with friends and helping them understand where their privilege comes from. Oh my God. In regards to situations they may not have personally experienced that others suffer from. And lots of privilege obviously comes from being white. Never thought I'd be accused for being racist against white people. When the clip is clearly out of context. Out of context. Always filming Wine About It pod on right now with Cutie, my white friend that I love very much. LOL, stream resumes tomorrow.
I did tell her, I was like, Cutie, I do think your tone doesn't help because you inherently sound really angry all the time. You sound really, and she knows.
If she's referring to Cutie saying, I'm an ally, bitch, or whatever the fuck she said, that makes sense. That did seem like it was quite standoffish over her position with family, but I mean, not like newsworthy.
I was like, you're very blunt. I think it's your tone, you're blunt, and it just comes off poorly, especially, you know, and I was like, you're also the whitest woman I know. And it also is just, you know, you being so white. It just did.
Yeah, there's not really, I don't think there's anything wrong with using it in this context. Are people getting fucking molding? Are people getting mad about this? Because they're probably calling her like anti-white racist or whatever the fuck.
It doesn't help. It doesn't help. But I know her. I know her heart. It's just because she wants to help.
By the way, people who are molding at her talking like this, just remember, I hope you're aware that this is how I talk sometimes, right? I say this about people. Calling people white is a pejorative. Yeah, it's fucking funny. What? Like, especially as someone who is quite white passing, you know, and I'm sure she sees herself that way and I see myself that way. Like, yeah, I understand. It's.
But I feel like there's ways we can do it better. I did tell her, I was like, Cutie, I do think your tone doesn't help because you inherently sound really angry all the time.
Okay, it's looping. Yeah, but you're Scottish. Why? Because it's funnier when I say white. When I'm aggro. Because angry Scottish person is a comic appeal. What? What?